Okay, let's make a quick and easy version of a Philly cheesesteak. Okay, so here I'm just chopping the green peppers. I'm trying to hold the camera myself. That's why it looks weird. I'm chopping green peppers, onions, and I chopped a piece of yellow pepper that I had. I'm going to put it in that cast iron skillet right there. So I'm moving ketchup and because that's not part of the ingredients or the everything seasoning, so I'm just moving it out the way. But I'm going to use a Montreal steak seasoning, A1 sauce, provolone cheese, of course, for the very end, beef broth. So I put the onions and the peppers. You could saute the onions and peppers a little bit before you add the ground beef. I just threw it in there. So I'm going to brown this ground beef. Sorry, like I said, I'm holding the camera, so it's hard for me to keep it steady on what I'm doing. I'm going to brown that ground beef. I'm going to add the Montreal seasoning. I'm going to add some black pepper. You don't need a whole bunch of seasoning. That right there is flour I was putting in. It's called for cornstarch, but I didn't have any to kind of make it thicken it up a little bit. But so I just used flour, and then I can't tell you how much flour I used, maybe a tablespoon and a half. Then I added A1 steak sauce. I added the beef broth. I'm so mad because I'm not holding this steady. But I added the A1 steak sauce. Then I added the beef broth. And then after the ground beef had cooked, I drained the oil off, grease off of it. So I'm just going to let that simmer. So right now, so far, we've added onions and peppers, the ground beef, the Montreal steak seasoning. We drained the ground beef. We put flour on it for it to thicken some. Then we added A1 steak sauce and beef broth and let it simmer. Those are the hoagie buns I'm going to use and the provolone cheese. So I'm going to put the hoagie buns on a tray with some foil. I put a little butter on there for a little extra good flavor. But I'm going to stick that in the oven for it to toast. I think at this point I was like getting another cast iron skillet I had in the oven. I was getting that out. But anyway, I put that in there, toasting. I'm standing there with it because, you know, if you put something in the oven on broil, if you walk away from it, it's going to burn. So I took it out. I put the meat on the bun, put the provolone cheese on top, and I stuck it back in the oven to let that cheese melt a little bit. When I tell you these were amazing, they were absolutely amazing. I stood there with the door open because it will surely burn. If you're putting anything in the oven on broils, stand there with it, or you'll come back and it'll be burnt up. So I only left it in there for a few seconds, and then I pulled it out. It doesn't take much when you're trying to broil something. Okay, so it's out of the oven, and voila, magic. Delicious. I ate 2 of them.